More RT's Polly Boyker reports now from London.
Just the executive summary. There are 12 more tomes where this came from, and it was 7 years in the making, marred by delays, but finally, now that it's been delivered, there are some stark assessments relating to the way that Britain was dragged into war with Iraq. It says that the UK chose to join the invasion of Iraq before peaceful options for disarmament had been exhausted. It also said that when the UK invaded in March 2003, there was no imminent threat from Saddam Hussein. It said that policy on Iraq was made on flawed intelligence. So it's a bitter pill, not just for Tony Blair to swallow, but for the government and the political establishment as a whole. Don't forget, back then, the Conservative Party supported the invasion of Iraq. So it's dented public trust and it's caused widespread anger. It's come at a cost.
This man has put 179 kids to the slaughter. There is no justice.
We want to know why Blair went against the UN and took us into Iraq. I need to know what my son died for, given that Iraq is now worse than it was before.
We have lost our sons, daughters, brothers and sisters, and if we don't get answers as to why they died, it will all have been a waste of time.
And this is a wound that's still very raw for the British public, and especially for people that have lost loved ones who were serving in Iraq. I spoke to a few of them after the report was published, and they had mixed emotions.
We didn't choose to go to war, Tony Blair did. Unfortunately, it's now down to the families to be able to take this further, because the war criminals justice courts have already said they can't prosecute him.
Most of my anger revolves around Tony Blair. It has something to do with the fact that we've lost our son. But on another level, it isn't. It's about the fact that we shouldn't have gone into Iraq in the first place. And it was a complete catastrophe.
Now, while we were locked inside looking at copies of the report, we could hear very vocal protests taking place outside. There were already angry members of the public making their voice heard and really talking about how they wanted to see Tony Blair tried as a war criminal. Now, they've also been angered by the fact that the International Criminal Court has said that they're going to be going through this report with a fine-tooth comb in order to see if they should be prosecuting any soldiers for war crimes. But they've already ruled out prosecuting Tony Blair.
I just think it's unbelievable that in this so-called law-abiding country that we have people like Blair in charge of us, because there is only one way to describe him, and that is as a lying, torturing, oil-thieving, genocidal sociopath. And if those are the sort of people who are going to govern this country, then quite frankly, is there any point in living in this country? We might as well be living in Nazi Germany.